Hello, I'm Ben Laub, and we are presenting our project was the Firework Media Studios XRenegades. That was our sponsor. Our project is XR Survive Run Fight Hide Edition.
Yeah, my name is Nazrin Nazaruddin. I'm also a developer for the project. We have 3 companies that are involved with this project. The first one being XRenegades, Firework Media Studios. So Firework Media Studios is a consulting company for a lot of things, XR, AR, but mainly in VR, and they also provide well-designed websites if you are interested. We also have the University of Nebraska Medical Center, which is Nebraska's first medical college, and they also are developing some cutting-edge technology in medical. For example, they have a few projects with VR last year, this year as well, and I think potentially next year too. And the other company is Kiro XR, which is a non-profit organization focusing on education for students, and this is where we're going to host XR Survive on. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Just to introduce our sponsor team, we had Tess McKinney, Sue Schulke, and from Curio XR we had Ethan Fieldman. We also had Amy Ensinger and David Gwinnen. On the staff side, we had Melanie Kugler-Wright, Jeff Falkenberg, and Ron Gallagher. Our student team included our squad lead and development manager, Zen Berger. Our second semester product manager was Sam Gittleman, and our first semester product manager was Tyson Shields. And then our developers were Nazrin, myself, and Dublin Smith.
Yeah, and then we'll move on to the problem and opportunity that we were trying to solve. So the first one being, active shooters situation has been one of the major problems that we are dealing with. And the good thing is some schools are already implementing ways to combat this problem, like training school children, or not just schools, but things, concerts, malls, hospitals. Those are the kind of situation that we are kind of anticipating, but we don't. Hopefully, God forbid, those things never happen, but we still want people to be proactive in trying to be in the situation within a safe environment. Because when people are in this kind of situation, it's panicking. Sometimes they have tunnel vision. Sometimes they freeze up. Sometimes you just don't know what to do in these kind of situations. So I think with our product, we can help people at least a little bit to be in the environment safely, to decide on what to do, how to do, when to do, in those situations. So our VR application, it provides a sense of urgency through audio cue, through visual cue, through spatial awareness. When they're in the situation, it kind of helps embed the feeling of being in the situation. And also another opportunity that we have is it is cheaper for the company who are sponsoring, because this is targeted to be nonprofit, and then it's cheaper to pay college students than full-time employee. And we are building a strong foundation for this project. It's not super polished, but we have the foundation, and the mechanics works for the product that will be extended hopefully in the future. Yeah, we had a trailer that we actually excited to show you guys. Unfortunately, we didn't have it on the slide. So if you were excited to come to our booth, you can see that on our table. But to highlight, this is XR Survive. It is developed in Unity, and it's developed for Oculus Quest 2. It is an educational training program that you can go and use. It's about 10, 15, or half an hour, depending on how fast you interact with the situation. We have 9 scenarios. We're planning to develop more. Currently we have school, we have restaurants, and we have concerts. So these 3, every scenario has their own run, hide, and fight mechanics, because that is the principle that was highlighted by the FBI. Whenever you get caught up in a situation, what do you do? Do you run, do you hide, do you fight? You run first. If you can't run, you hide. If you can't hide, then you fight. So it goes in order. Within our app, we have a tutorial as well to show you for you to get used to the software, and we also have a narration that helps guide you through the app itself. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to go over some examples from the project. This first image is from the main menu scene, and it shows the buttons that the users use to select from the 9 different scenarios we had. So you can see we have the school, restaurant, and concert scenarios, and each one has a run, hide, and fight version. And then the second image shows a screen capture from the restaurant scenario, and you can see that there's a door indicated that it is a side exit and that you can interact to enter the door. And this image shows the results screen. So once the timer has ended and the scenario is over, the results screen shows, and it will tell you, I believe this screen capture is from restaurant run. So it's saying that in this case, the user selected a incorrect run option and that there were better options available.
Yeah, so for the values and highlights, we have highlighted 2 categories of values that we have gained from this experience. The first one, XR Survive gave the world an interactive VR experience. I think as soon as we start idealizing or the ideation process of this, we want it to hopefully soon be to get enrolled in like American schools or the American publics, for them to be prepared in the situation if it comes. But I think that will be in a couple years or maybe more, because this is a foundational project that we have and it's going to be extended. It also made to educate people on the situations and teaches important tactics and lesson highlighted by the FBI, as said before. And also, with an application, understanding users' mental health. And what we mean by this is, when they're in the situation, we have to consider, PTSD or accessibility for people to use that. So we don't use any controllers for our app. We only have hand tracking, and you'll be walking physically, so that people who are not well versed with VR, they can go in and start immediately without having to go through that learning curve. XR Survive also give us, the team, an invaluable experience, because none of us have ever worked with VR before, but Ben here has been working with Unity for a while, and they've been helping us to work with Unity in VR for this project. It also helps us, understanding user-first design. So instead of building a project and sending it and shipping it out, we learn how users react with our product before we start developing. So yeah, that should be it for our slides.